We have seen how scalar multiplication works. That's multiplying a scalar by a matrix. Now, what if we want to multiply a matrix with another matrix? So we have A matrix of 4 elements, likewise B, a matrix of 4 elements. What happens if we multiply them together? Now, we know when we have A minus B, or let's say A plus or minus B, the result will be A11 plus or minus B11, as the case may be, A12 plus or minus B12, and A21 plus or minus B21, and likewise A22 plus or minus B22. This is the summary of addition and subtraction of matrix. Now, when we now have A multiplied by B, should we say that it is A11 multiplied by B11, A12 multiplied by B12, A21 multiplied by B21, and A22 multiplied by B22? However, this is wrong, because matrix multiplication follows the order that we multiply the row by the column. Now, the result of this will be the row multiplied by the column. So we are saying this will result into A11 multiplied by B11 plus A12 multiplied by B21. In the same way, we have dealt with the first row multiplied by the first column. Then we will now deal with the first row again multiplied by the second column, and this will give us A11 B12 plus A12 multiplied by B22. Likewise, just as we have done with the first row, we go over to the second row. The second row again will multiply the first column, and this will result into A21 B11 plus A22 B21. And finally, the second row again multiplied by the second column. So this will give us A21 multiplied by B12 plus A22 multiplied by B22. Now, what do we observe here? Let's start with this. The first row and the first column. That means we are multiplying the first row of matrix A by the first column of matrix B. Likewise, when we want to do the result, which is the first row and the second column, that means we are saying the first row of matrix A and the second column of matrix B. Next on the line, this is the second row and the first column. So this will result into the second row of matrix A and the first row of matrix B. Second row, first column. And finally, we have this, which is the second row and the second column. So we have the second row of matrix A and the second column of matrix B. Now, it's quite interesting. Okay, so let's take a quick example on this to establish understanding on this principle. So let's say we have matrix A to be equal to 4 1 3 2, and matrix B is equal to 3 1 2 1. Now, how then do we apply solve A multiplied by B? Then we apply this principle. Okay, we know this is the first row, first column, first row, second column, and the likes. All right, so if that is known, then let's say apply this. We want to evaluate the first row and the first column. So we take the first row of A and the first row and the first column of B. Remember, first row, first column. First row of A and first column rather of B. So this will be 4 multiplied by 3, okay, plus 1 multiplied by 2. 1 multiplied by 2. Likewise, we want to solve for this x-ness space, which is the first row and the second column. That is, we are taking the first row of A and the second column of B. So this will result into 4 multiplied by 1, and likewise plus 1 multiplied by 1. Okay, then we are considering this term now. This term says the second row of A, okay, second row, first column, that second row of A multiplied by the first column of B. So this will be 3 multiplied by 3 plus 2 multiplied by 2. And finally, we have this, which is the second row, the second column. That's the second row of A multiplied by the second column of B. That's 3 multiplied by 1. And likewise, we have 2 multiplied by 1. So this in itself will result into 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2 times 1, which is 2. That's 12 plus 2 is 14. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times plus 1 is 5. And we have this in itself, 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4, 13. 3 times 1, 3, plus 2, which is 5. So now we can see now that matrix A, which is a 2 by 2 matrix multiplied by matrix B, which is also a 2 by 2 matrix, will result into this, which is a 2 by 2 matrix. Let's stop the video now and we continue. But before we continue, let me give you an exercise that you try to solve for matrix multiplication. Okay, so we have A. Let's say we have A now to be given as 3, 1, 2, 1, and we have B to be given as 4, 1, okay, and 3, 2. Now let's evaluate what is AB. Evaluate AB and we'll solve it together in the next video.